Personal finance expert and MeVest founder Lesley-Anne joining us on Canada Now. And Lesley-Anne, first off, welcome back to the show. You've had your second baby, Dorothy, is welcomed into the world. So you've got Hank, you've got Dot. So it's good to have you back. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It is absolutely a pleasure to be back and to really switch that noggin on once again. I've been in baby mode and toddler mode, but it is just a pleasure to be back.
Well, we've missed you, and it feels good to have you back. And your latest article in The Star discusses what the most popular TV show in Netflix history, Squid Game, could teach us about managing our money.
So first off, are you glued as I was to this show?
No. You know why? Because my wife went ahead and watched it without me. She watched it without me. And I just like, if she's gone ahead and watched it, then it's like that the ship has sailed. So at some point I'm going to get on board, but I missed my opportunity.
You will, and you will find the show is sensational. Now, painted the backdrop for you real quick. What we have in the show in South Korea is where it's set. So you are going to have to read through those captions as you're watching. South Korea is actually in a terrible debt crisis at present moment. And so that's what has inspired the show. So in the show, there are a bunch of contestants who are really suffering with like crippling levels of debt. And so they decide to compete through these really bizarre, super dangerous games to win their chance at becoming debt-free. So this is just shocking that people would even choose to potentially like give their life up for the opportunity to be debt-free. But one of the things that I drew from that show right away is this is not just a South Korea issue, right? Like debt is very much present and alive here in Canada. And though you wouldn't throw yourselves to the games for your chance to be debt-free, the thing that you want to just take away from the show right away is like, you're not alone. The debt crisis is real. It's real across many different countries right now. And there's support out there. So like, you don't have to compete in the games like they do in this show. You can actually get some support, whether it's from friends, from family. If you're really in it deep, you could even touch base with a licensed insolvency trustee. There's people out there to help.
There is support here in Canada, and we're very fortunate about that. And as you remind us in the piece as well, given that there is that support out there, don't run away from debt. Pay it off.
Yeah, I love this comparison. So in the first episode of Squid Game, Seong Ji-hoon, which is the main character, he is a gambler. And so he actually wins some money and then gets robbed. And what he should have done with that money when he won it is put it toward his debt and paid his mother back, by the way. Like he owes his mother so much money. But instead he tried to run away and tried to win again and ended up getting robbed in the process. So when you're dealing with debt, I just want to be clear, it's so key not to run away from it. You do need to make payments on it. You do need to respond to those phone calls if you're getting them from a creditor. If you don't, it's going to wreak havoc on your credit score, and it'll be really hard on your mental health too.
Yeah, money towards debt is one way of being smart about your money. And as far as your spending is concerned, you got to be mindful.
That's right. So like this other scene came to my mind from the show where the main character, instead of being smart with his spending and getting his young daughter a nice gift that she would want for her birthday, he instead tries to win a gift from one of those vending machines that has like the claw arm. So, let's say it's the equivalent of $10 Canadian that he had in his budget to spend on this nice gift for his young daughter. he decides like, okay, I'm going to try and win again, something big. So in the vending machine goes the first amount of money. He loses the second amount of money. He loses again. And then he gets a little bit of help from a young kid who helps him navigate the claw arm. And so he finally wins, right? He picks up this like gift from the vending machine claw arm, and he's out of money, by the way, but he's got this gift. And guess what it is? It is a cigarette lighter that is shaped like a gun. And that's what he gives his daughter. And it's so foolish, right? But this is something, I love the lesson here because it's all about mindfulness. If you have a budget, if you have intention with your budget, in this case, the main character's number one goal was to get his daughter a nice gift, go and get that gift. Make sure it's on budget, but don't be foolish gambling it away at things that may not actually come to fruition.
Get to a point where one is feeling overwhelmed and getting back to the support, because you might think, all right, yeah, I've got debt. I know how to hammer away at it. I know what I'm doing wrong here. I know what I have to adjust. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But you get to a point where you're overwhelmed. And again, there is that support. So seek out that financial help if you're feeling overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Like there are people out there that just do this for their work. And I've referred to the profession before. I'm going to refer to it again. They're called licensed insolvency trustees. So if you're in that position where you like literally cannot keep up with the payments and you're losing sleep, that is just an awful feeling. But there's professional help out there. You can go through processes pre-bankruptcy. So there's actually a whole set of processes where your debts can be negotiated on your behalf before you become bankrupt. It might even save you from having to pay everything back. So get some support. If that's you, if you're like one of these characters who's literally at their wit's end, playing for their life and their chance to be debt-free, go and talk to one of these people and talk to your family. I know money is such a taboo topic in the home, but you would be surprised if you start talking more openly with people about the challenge you're facing. You're going to find love and support. We see it in our own communities. Like we have some free resources and a free Facebook group we welcome people into on a regular basis. And it's all about love and support for people who are going through different journeys with their debt and different journeys with their savings. And it's not about feeling bad. It's about getting some support.
And, maybe you reach a time where you go, all right, it's not only that I have to get out from underneath this debt, but I have to develop some saving habits. And once you get into it, like it takes time to develop these saving habits, but once you get into it, it becomes a lot of fun and so satisfying to see your money accrue and as you continue to save.
Do you know that one of the most effective ways for someone to become debt-free is to start saving? It's so counterintuitive because time and again, I see people go all in on debt, right? They want to pay it off and they miss this important habit formation of saving. Now, the saving habit will help heal the relationship you have with your money, but it will also be that cushion that you need to elevate, to move along. So I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Those who have emergency funds have fewer emergencies. And that's what the data shows time and again, that you're actually better off to have some savings versus none. And that will help support you in creating a stronger, better, more secure financial future.
Yeah. Well, in the end, you don't have to act out of desperation when in debt. There are other ways to go, Lesley-Anne. You point that out in your article in the Star and here on Canada Now. Check out mevest.ca, personal finance expert, Mevest founder, Hank and Dot's mom, Lesley-Anne Scorgie. Lesley-Anne, it's great to have you back on the show. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks so much, Jeff. We'll talk to you soon.